Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh, Free online tech videos. This is a complete course tutorial you can going to get in this YouTube channel. So the command this project currently I'm working is that 105 commands completely video records. Okay, this is the third command I'm recording here. So the command is ARP command. Okay, what does mean by ARP command and how the ARP command works? Okay, and we can also see on the practical side as well. Okay, so as transfer address resolution protocol, which means that the address can be resolved by hostname and the hostname can be resolved by the address. Okay, so but you cannot directly resolve here, but you can get that which host has which MAC address and which MAC address has which host. Okay, the information can be matched using the ARP cage. Okay, so how this ARP Linux command is going to be work. Okay, ARP stands for address resolution protocol. This protocol is used by network systems to match IP address to MAC address, which means that whenever you are just ping that remote host and you will get the IP address and MAC address of that machine. Okay, that is called as an ARP. How that ARP is going to functional? Okay, the functionality is to determine physical address while sending the packet. Okay, so it will determines these remote physical machines physical address, which means that MAC address of the remote machine, and it will send the packet to that host. Okay, remote host or remote node. Okay, and another functionality of the ARP is that answering the request from the other host. So any other host is sending in a request to this host, which will send the answer based on that remote machine caching resolution. Okay, so next one is how ARP command works. Okay, so just now we see that the Linux ARP command, which will the functionality is to just determine the IP address MAC address of the remote host and attach that physical address to that packet and send it, right? So it uses local cache to map the IP addresses to MAC address, which means that it is not um, permanent records. Okay, which is going to be used a one of the file and it writes the records there. Okay, which is uses the local cache. Okay, if remote machine is known, in the sense the remote machine is already known, which means that it's already communicated to this machine and it places that the MAC address in that frame and it will send to the remote host. Okay, if not known, which means that the host is not known, then it will just send us a broadcast message to the all the machines, and whichever machine the broadcast machine is replied by, then it will get that information and write to the cache. Okay, then the target machine recognize packets, then when whatever the frame it's sent to the remote host, and it recognizes its own address and send the answer. Okay, that's how the ARP command works. Okay, the first of all it sends the, if it is known, then the MAC address is placed into the frame and sent. If it is not known, then it simply just send a broadcast message to let us know the remote machine details. Okay, then what is the information provided by this command? Okay, the first one ARP command will provide the below information is that what is the address, IP address of the remote machine or the local machine. Okay, and the hardware type, and what is the hardware type is used to communicate between those hosts. Okay, and hardware address, which is the MAC address. Okay, flags means that what is the entry of that ARP entry, so what type of entry it is. Okay, based on the flags we can identify the net mask value it will provide, and if phase, which means that the which interface you have used to send the ARP information or collect the ARP information from the remote host. Okay, That's how the IFAs will provide. Okay, so what are the ARP flags here? So ARP has three flags. So one is C, which is complete entry, which means that the ARP has complete entry. The second one is the permanent entry or manual entry, or we can say static entry. This is okay. The P is published entry. P is in the sense published entry. Okay, so ARP command supported files, in the sense what are the supported files it uses to functional ARP. Okay, so one is the /etc/net/ARP, which stores the information of the host IP address, hardware address, and flag tags, and the net mask value, and all stuff. Okay, and /etc networks, and host is used to resolve the IP address to name, in the sense if the IP address is already has the entry in the host file, then the instead of recording the IP address, it records the host name. Okay, ethers is a command, so which was the an old command functionality. Okay, Ethernet address, which is a database which stores the 48-bit Ethernet address and their corresponding IP numbers, the exactly whatever the ARP command does. So based on this ethers. Okay, next one is just see a practical scenario here, how the ARP command works here. Okay, so we can just see ARP-n quickly, and we can see that there are some entries here. Okay, so what is that entry here? Okay, the first one is the address. So address in the sense server address, the remote machine address, and what is the hardware type is used. Okay, so this does not have any complete address, complete information here. That's why it does not have any flag. Okay, and it does not have any mask details as well. And which interface is used, in the sense the local interface is ENS33 is used to communicate with that remote host. But if you can see that there is a flag called C, which means that which has the complete entry, in the sense host name it has, and the type of the hardware is Ethernet, and it has its MAC address and the flag, and which interface is used of the local machine. And you can see that there is a CM flag is CM. Okay, which means that is a manual permanent entry, which means we just added the manual entry here. Okay, the host address is 15 and it is used Ethernet. Okay, this is the MAC address and this is the interface details. Okay, like that you can get that remote host entry details. Okay, so let's see the 16 machine we have here, but it does not have any information about this machine. So how we can get it? So what you have to just see, just ping that host. Okay, if it is pinged successfully, then you can get that information of that host. Okay, that host information would be recorded. As we can see how it is recorded. Okay, just send us a broadcast message to that host and it collects the information and stores it. Okay, if you want to add this entry manually, so how you can add permanent manual entry? Okay, so let's say I'm just deleting this address, hardware address. Okay, let's see this hardware address you can delete based on the IP address, or you can also use MAC address to delete it. Okay, let's delete it and let's see. Okay, that entry is gone. It's a incomplete entry. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to add in a manual entry using -s. Okay, you have to provide the IP address of that machine and you can provide that machine's MAC address, then the entry will be added. Okay, you can see that the entry is added, but the entry is permanent and manual entry or static entry, you can say. Okay, so this is the ARP command works. Okay, if you want to see entire things about the ARP, you can just use ARP-A, but it takes a little bit time to get the output, because it scans everything and it provides the information of all the hosts which is reachable, in the sense which is already communicated in the network. Okay, so one more thing is here, it can also use particular interface. If you have multiple interfaces on your machine, then you wanted to use one of the interfaces to be communicated to the destination, you can just specify that interface using the ARP-I and provide that interface name here. Example here is ENS33. Then the destination port of this machine, localhost machine, is if you have any other, let's say other thing, you can just provide that one. So that interface would be communicated as a external interface. So in the sense that MAC address will be published to the other machine, reply back, all the things like that. Okay, this is just about the ARP command, how ARP command works. Okay, and you can just simply see that, okay, where that actually information is stored, right? So /etc/net/ARP. okay, here is the actual information is stored of the ARP actually. Okay, this is the file path. Okay, this is about the ARP command practical. Okay, practical is completed. Okay, thanks for watching, stay tuned.